this guy that I'm dating, that I'm building a real relationship with and seeing a future with, just left. And I was just like, and I couldn't understand what happened.
Well, what happens is red flags feel like home.
What are some of the biggest mistakes that we make when dating or are in the pursuit of a relationship?
As women, we attach ourselves way too early to one man that we don't even know so well. What we didn't heal from our childhood, we keep repeating in our relationships.
I do not feel like I need a man. Is that wrong?
Because you've never experienced safe, loving, nurturing, supportive love, you never experienced that. So you don't even know, how does that feel like to be with somebody like that?
You can't date Jesus or Obama. Like those two are off the table.
We're stepping high, we're chasing dreams. Selena Hill, setting the scene. Life's a story, let's unfold. Sharing wisdom, tales untold.
Hey fam, welcome to Over the Hill, the podcast that helps you ascend to new heights in relationships, success, and finance, and equips you to build the life you deserve. I'm your sister in purpose, Selena Hill, and today I'll be speaking with Ludmila Woodruff, a leading certified high-performance life and relationship coach. Ludmila specializes in emotional intelligence and helping high achievers balance ambition with personal growth, self-awareness, and relationship building. Thank you for joining me, Ludmila.
I'm so honored to be here. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So your expertise has been very impactful for me personally. We had a session late last year, just as I was experiencing the heartbreak of someone who ghosted me, who I really thought I truly saw a future with. And the advice you gave me was transformational. You helped me understand attachment styles, how to listen to my own inner voice, and also how to listen to my nervous system. And I want to talk about that later, because I say that to say this conversation is just prefaced on what I think a lot of successful, ambitious women in their 30s like myself face when it comes to finding love and maintaining healthy romantic relationships. Dating, just all the different things, the apps, all of the things. So, to start, Ludmila, if you can just talk about what are some of the biggest mistakes that we make when dating or are in the pursuit of a relationship?
Yes. So, as you know, a lot of women I work with, like yourself, you are phenomenal at business, phenomenal at communication, at achieving your goals and really pursuing your dreams. You are high performers. Now, when you apply the same tactics to dating or your romantic life, this is where the things start going sideways for all of you, because in your career or your business, you think, I just need to push forward. I need to go after what I want. And you are in the energy, which is fantastic, in the energy of, I will go after everything I want. When we bring this energy into relationships, we start pursuing men. So the whole balance of a dating, energy or just relationship energy goes upside down, because in a relationship, it should be the man who is pursuing a woman, not vice versa. What I also see is very much of performative energy with women, because we were taught how to perform. We were not taught how to connect. There is a difference. And when it comes to romance and falling in love, it has to happen for your heart, not only from your head. So when we get very mental in our dating process, we become perfectionistic. We want to show our best selves. We want to show our accolades and achievements. We should celebrate ourselves, but it becomes very performative. This is what I see. And I also understand that as women, we attach ourselves way too early to one man that we don't even know so well. So I advise all my clients to go on multiple dates with multiple men. Of course, we remove the sex from the table in our dating process when you coach with me, because I want you to truly understand yourself as you are dating and understand who is in front of you. Who are you looking at when you are on your date? Not imagining a potential or an imaginary scenario that we so often create in our heads, how this will go for us.
So, Ludmila, when you were just going down that checklist, I was like, yep, check. I've done that, done that. I'm like listening. I'm like, yes, all the things especially when
Yeah.
it comes to being high performing, perfectionism,
Yeah.
something that I've definitely struggled with as well. And also just trying to find the perfect partner, which is something that I think my therapist flagged for me very early on. Like, you can't date Jesus or Obama. Like, like those two are off the table. So you're going to have to so when it just comes to that mindset, what is it that high achieving women, again, like myself, how do we approach it? Is there like a switch that needs to go off in our minds when it comes to like building a healthy relationship?
Well, you have to uplevel your identity. You have to elevate your identity and completely shift yourself as you see yourself in your dating process and when it comes to relationships. So when you are at your career and your business, you go for it, right? You do exactly what I just described. Do your best, perform, and you see the results in your business that come from your performance, which that's a natural way of how we do it in our professional life. But when it comes to dating, you really have to understand the difference. So number one, you need to understand your mindset. There are a few elements we need to look at, right? So how am I dating? First of all, am I dating from the anxious space? Am I afraid that I will never find a partner, that there are no good men out there, that I have to prove myself? What is the mindset I'm approaching my dating with? What do I believe about myself? What do I believe about love? What do I believe about men and relationships? What is possible for me in this identity right now? And how do I have to change my beliefs and how I see myself, how I see men, how I see dating and relationships to create exactly what I desire? That's the first part. You need to do inventory of your belief system, right? That's number one. Number two, this is where we look at the perfectionism. Nobody's perfect. I'm sorry, even Obama, as great as he is, he's a human being. He has flaws too, right? So accepting our own imperfections, right? Why are we trying to be perfect? We are trying to be perfect because we think if we are not, we will be seen. Imagine if somebody sees you being imperfect. I will tell you over and over again that people are more comfortable being naked physically with each other than being naked emotionally with each other. Emotional intimacy is so much more scary than let's just have sex, right? So when you can accept your flaws, I don't think we have flaws. I just think we all have our strengths and things we can work on or just love and accept about ourselves, right? Which makes us original. Nobody's like us. And love on those characteristics of our, character or personality. And when we can love on those parts of ourselves that aren't perfect or performative, this is when our dating and our relationships become so much easier because somebody who you are dating is also imperfect. So you give them permission to be human with you as well. It's very hard to date when I have to perform to be something I am not.
I'm glad you said that because another thing that I've learned from you listening to your podcast, etc., is earning. You cannot earn someone's love, right? Like, and I feel like, I don't know if that's attached to me just being a perfectionist, but I felt myself while dating feeling like I needed to be good enough. Like I needed to earn their love or attention or, I just needed to like be my best self at all times. How do I sort of let go of that mindset as well?
Well, first of all, you need to ask yourself, when did that start? Because that did not start in your adulthood. So those are the patterns we learn in our childhood. How did we have to earn the love of our parents? Did we have both parents present in our life? If they were present, were they emotionally attuned and available? Do we have, secure attachment developed throughout our childhood or not? So when I speak of secure attachment, it's the ability to show up as myself, be seen again at my best and my worst, let's say, and know that I will be supported and I'm still chosen and I'm still lovable and it is safe for me to show up fully as myself. And not only safe, but also it keeps the connection secure. So very often when we are growing up and we get messages consciously or subconsciously from our caregivers that we are too much, or we have to strive to be the best student and get all the great grades, good grades at school, or we have to be quieter or a people pleaser to be loved, we learn that being ourselves is too much for someone. Being ourselves is not good enough. So we start performing. So all these perfectionistic tendencies and I'm not good enough, let me prove to you that I am good enough of being loved comes back to our childhood. So this is where I take my clients through the process of integrating the younger parts of our psyche, the patterns of our nervous system, how do we rewire that to really feel within ourselves first that we are worthy and lovable when we perform and when we don't perform.
Mm.
That's so
Yeah.
important. Mhm.
So you said so many things there that I want to unpack. One of the things you said was attachment styles.
Yeah.
So that is, I didn't really understand that until we had our session of attachment styles because I didn't realize I was dating and avoidant. And I'll have you break that down. And what happened was everything was going so well, right? And we were making connections. And and there were some flags there, which I did ignore. And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden, it was like as soon as things were going so well, it was just like he shut down, shut off, never heard from him again. And I'm just like, what happened? And it triggered in me. I was so triggered because it reminded me of being abandoned by my father. And I remember telling my mom at the time, I thought you said, I shouldn't look at men like they're my father. Like I'll never go through that again. And I did. I was like, my father, the first man I loved, completely cut himself off emotionally and physically and left me, right? And then I was just like, okay, this guy that I'm dating, that I'm building a real relationship with and seeing a future with, just left. And I was just like, and I couldn't understand what happened.
Well, what happens is red flags feel like home. So what you experience is very often what all my clients experience, which means what we didn't heal from our childhood, we keep repeating in our relationships. So until you can truly understand your own patterns, you will keep repeating them because you are trying to heal the first relationship that you've experienced with your mother or your father or both. So when you mentioned my dad was avoidant, not available, and then I'm dating an available man, well, we are trying to really prove, right? Number one, our nervous system is used to this pattern. This is what our nervous system has been trained to be comfortable with. This feels very familiar. Number two, subconsciously, we developed all the beliefs that we are unaware of because it's subconscious, which means men are not reliable, men will leave, I'm not deserving of love, and I am not good enough, which you are trying to heal by being the perfect woman, the perfect girl, which never works, right? We just kind of repeat the cycle over and over again. So we have different types of attachments, and very often the avoidant one attracts an anxious one, right? So an anxious person wants the connection, but is not used to consistent connection. Connection and safety, emotional safety, are very important and foundational in all of our relationships. And if we don't experience that within ourselves first, how we accept all parts of ourselves, how we carry ourselves through different emotions and experiences, how we can make sense out of those experiences and emotions, how we take responsibility for our own behaviors and own our decision making. If we didn't develop those skills and we didn't rewire our nervous system, we just keep repeating what we know. We keep repeating what feels familiar. So you attracted this man for a reason. He was here to wake you up to your own power and to your own limitations within yourself. This is a great opportunity for you to learn, oh, what parts of me still feel very familiar and attracted to the avoidance? Which part of me still believe I'm not good enough? So, anxious people most likely will chase the avoidant. They will, when I see couples, because I work with couples as well, if one partner shuts down and doesn't want to finish the conversation, the more anxious person will follow them and will say, we need to talk about this right now, because they cannot regulate by themselves. They need reassurance from their partner that they will not be abandoned. And we are so unconscious of what we are doing in those patterns. We think we are just having conversations where we are truly looking for safety and connection.
Yeah, and I like what you said about the nervous system too, because I remember with this person, which I expressed during our session, from the first call, he was late. Like we met on a dating app, and then every minute that he was late, I was like losing it. I felt like that little girl waiting for my daddy. And like,
Mhm.
never, is he gonna come this time? Is he gonna come on time? You know, and I was just, every minute I felt it. And the next call, he completely forgot. And I was like, oh, like, and I remember I couldn't really sleep. Like, I was just like, what is going on? And at that time, my nervous system was reacting. And to what I now see as red flags. And they only persisted
Mhm.
throughout the time that we dated up until it completely, he completely left.
Can women do better in dating on relationships? And I said, up level your identity. Your identity when you were dating him was, it's okay for men to not show up. It's okay for
Mm,
men to forget me.
mm.
I'm used to being forgotten by men. I can do this. Okay, I will give it another chance, because I'm sure you gave your father another chance because you were waiting for him. So it's okay. I can be patient. By the way, we are way too patient. We are way too forgiving as women. We overextend ourselves. We sacrifice our own mental, emotional well being just to keep the connection going. Many of us do that because we all want love. And which is a beautiful thing to have and experience. And I love love. My clients love love. And so, if you've created a lot of success and this one area of your life is not working out, you get really frustrated and lonely and sad, and you will do whatever it takes to experience it. So, that makes sense. And by the way, you are still craving the love of your dad, right? This
Mm.
masculine presence. So, how can I meet that need through somebody else? And this is where we have to really step back. And when you say, how can an anxious person change their behavior? First of all, we need to recognize we have a pattern. We are the pattern. It's not about the men. It's men are men. There are different types of men, like there are different types of women. How am I the common denominator in all my dating or relationship experiences? That's what I had to do in my late 20s to realize I'm the red flag, right? So why am I doing this? I was also looking for my father. So he died when I was 3, which is an abandonment wound. And in my culture, we just don't heal anything. You get over things. And so recognizing this is the pattern, I am the pattern. What am I looking for? Okay, I'm looking for someone to love me, to meet me, to see me, to accept me, to be gentle with me, to nurture me. Okay, how do I start being that person for myself? Okay, how do I provide emotional safety for myself, mental thought processes that really encourage me in my confidence? How do I learn about men and women and how those dynamic really work, and how do we fall in love very differently, by the way? And what do I need for myself to have stronger boundaries, not threats or not ultimatums, but boundaries really show other people and myself, this is how I need to be treated. This is what I'm deserving of. So the first step is really working on yourself and recognizing, where am I disconnected from myself? So, for example, when we talk about perfectionism, and if you make a mistake, are you forgiving with yourself? Can you be soft with yourself? Can you be nurturing when you make a mistake, or you berate yourself? Right? If we are very harsh with ourselves and the inner critic is very loud, we cannot expect somebody else to love us when we hate on ourselves. So, meeting our own emotional needs first. Then, of course, learning, how do I express my needs? So, for example, if I'm going on a date and somebody is late, if I were you, I would say from the first date, you know what? I understand you are 10 minutes late. just to let you know, if it happens again, I won't be here. I really enjoy a man who is punctual and values my time. Do you see how I did that? And I will smile. I don't have to threaten you. What I need to do is to be very clear on what I am deserving of and how I need to be treated. If it's not you, it's the next person. So, really gaining that confidence within ourselves. And it's a repetitive, consistent pattern of choosing yourself that provides more of a secure attachment. Every time you abandon yourself, you abandon your needs, you are overextending, overgiving, you are repeating the pattern of anxiety.
Mm. I
Mhm.
love that you said that, but can you really tell someone you just met, like, hey, I see you were 10 minutes late. The next time you do that, I won't be here? That just sounds so harsh.
I'm saying, hey, it's lovely to see you. And just, I appreciate a man who is on time because my time matters.
Okay, right. Saying it like that. Saying, like, I
Yes,
won't be
yes.
here.
No,
Okay.
listen, but it sets the tone. You teach people how to treat you. Yes? Look, you didn't say anything first time. The next time he forgot, there is a call. Because if I don't value myself and I don't express myself, this is not okay with me, or I expect more, then listen, it's not going to work for us. That's great. We can go separate ways. I don't have to be angry. When I communicate my boundaries and I teach my clients how to communicate their boundaries, we are not angry. We are very confident and we are very calm, meaning this is great. Like, I'm happy we're having a date today, looking forward to this. And just for the future, I appreciate a man, not you, not him. I appreciate a man who is on time because my time matters. My time is very valuable.
Yeah.
And I
You know,
smile. And then it's
and
up to him to decide, am I going to apply myself or it's too much for me? It's up to him to decide.
and if he doesn't apply it, then you just move on.
Correct. I move on because I am worthy of somebody who is on time, especially on the first date. Was somebody dying? Why are we even late, right? So I tell you, and I'm not saying you have to be perfect, right? It's not about being perfect, never being late. But if it's a first date and there was no reason for you to be late, I am not waiting on any man, honey. I am not waiting on any man, honey. My life is full. I can have fun by myself. And again, a man who really um, wants to spend time with me and get to know me, he will be on time because it will be important.
I love that, Lumila, and I love that you said your life is full, because that has been my life
Yeah.
up until this point. My 20s, I'm in my 30s now, and having just such a full life, a prosperous career, friends, family, a strong relationship with God, I've always felt like my plate was full.
Yeah.
And I was not intentional about dating. I was
Mhm.
also raised to not need a man. Is it wrong that I still feel like that? Like, I honestly, well, I do not feel like I need a man. Is that wrong?
So, two things. And I will tell you, a lot of my clients come to me and they say, because I work with single and also married, right? And when I have single clients, they come to me and they say, Ludmila, my life is full. I have the career, the business I always wanted. I make the money that I wanted. I'm living my best life. And I also feel I want a man. Some clients ask me, is it okay to want a man? Should I? Is it not? Because we are so brainwashed, by the way. We are so brainwashed to the independence of never needing a man. Neither if you are good by yourself, which for some people, that's what their true, desire is. But very often what I find with my clients is because you've never experienced safe, loving, nurturing, supportive love, you never experience that. So you don't even know how does that feel like to be with somebody like that, and how does that change me as a person? Because I will tell you, it softens you so much, which you can again have a beautiful life and have a partner that adores you. So my question to you would be, have you healed enough that younger self who was always under supported and abandoned by her dad, and not only on the mental level but in your body, on the remembering of your subconscious self and your nervous system patterns? Because you are possibly still living in the nervous system pattern of Men are not reliable. Men always fail me. They will always leave. So guess what? I'm better by myself.
I will say I want a man, and
Yeah.
no, I do not believe that men will always leave me
Yeah.
or I'll always be abandoned. Even though it happened again, the two relationships that I did have in my 20s, they were healthy,
Yeah.
and I did find those partners to be very supportive. But
What
I,
what
huh?
happened then? What happens then?
Um, one of them
Hmm.
checked every single box,
Hmm.
but the physical connection wasn't 100% there for me.
Okay.
And then the other one, I am so glad that we are not together. I don't know. It's just, I think it was a lack of compatibility,
Okay.
lifestyle, and
Yeah.
great
Hmm.
person, but just not for me. Even
Yeah.
though both of them were very committed and honestly would have married me and, would have did all the things. But it wasn't 100% there for me.
Okay. Well, so you want a man.
Yes,
Okay.
I do.
So two things. Number one, you have to be compatible when it comes to. I take my clients for an exercise where they can really find out and discover their own, most important needs. What do they want in their lifestyle? What do they think about money? What do they think about children, sex, and so forth? Communication, conflict resolution, because you have to be so clear on yourself. And I don't say you have to be completely healed or 100% perfect to go into dating, but you need to have some clarity around your preferences, because if you don't know your preferences, like the basic ones, then it's very hard to find somebody who is compatible. Now, when you go into the dating process, what you start experiencing, and my clients really learn it when they start doing it, they don't understand it mentally until they go into the process. You learn so much about deeper preferences when you start dating, right? For example, I had few clients who would say, I want my man to look a certain way. And I always smile and I say, okay, honey, you just go on the date. And what they find out very often is that the men that they choose and become the best partners for them are not the men that they would have chosen, because on just on the appearance, some of them are too short. Okay, some of them didn't wear the best clothes on their first date, right? Or some of them drove a car they didn't really like. And as a woman who went through a lot of pain, right, growing up, and the relationship with that might be complicated, we as women, we will find all the issues just to keep ourselves safe, and we don't even realize we are doing it. So I tell my clients, listen, the clothes, the car, the height, none of this matters, because what matters to you is, do I feel safe with him? Do I feel nurtured? Do I feel understood? How does he resolve conflict, which we forget very often? Can he stay in a hard conversation? Is he thoughtful? Does he really care about you? And so what I see when my clients give those men another chance, over time, they fall in love over time. The chemistry is built over time. Does that make sense?
Yes. Oh,
Okay.
yes.
Oh yeah, because I will tell you, I had few clients, and all of them are now, on their pathway to being engaged. And I remember their phone calls where he seems great, but he's short. He's short, or he's great, but Lord, the wallet he took out of his pants was not it. We need something better. And I always smile because I have so much compassion for my clients, because I understand that you can be scared and still give somebody a chance, right?
Mm.
It's scary to open yourself up if you've been hurt before. This is just normal. It's like if you are doing something for the first time, of course there will be some discomfort. So I never force my clients to go date somebody they don't enjoy, or after a few dates, if they say it's really not it, that's great. But give men a chance, especially if they are a safe, consistent presence in the dating process, right?
What what type of women are these
Mhm.
high achieving men looking for?
So I will tell you this, because I'm smiling as I'm going to share this. Men who want a woman who is ambitious, meaning you have your own life, right? You can hold an amazing conversation. You are nurturing. You are powerful in your own self, but you also are open to him leading. Meaning, it's not that you don't have any leadership in this relationship, but what I hear from men, because I also coach men, is very often high performing women, they don't know how to let go of control. We say we want love, but we hold on to control like our life depends on it. And it's very hard for a man to really fall in love with you if you keep controlling everything, right? So men want women, especially the clients, my clients, male clients or my female clients, when they attract men, those men are emotionally intelligent. Okay, so they're not looking for a woman who is disempowered. They are not looking for a woman who doesn't know how to make money. All my clients are very successful. So the men look for a woman who has passion or does work that inspires her, is a whole person, and she can also be soft. And she can also see him as a human, and she can be his safe space. And I had one client tell me that the man that she will be soon engaged to told her, I stopped dating high performing women because all my experiences were very rigid with them, which he was rigid too. That's why he was attracting them. But when he met my client, he said, I didn't know there is a type of a woman who has her own business and you are so fun to be with at home. When I come home, I feel so safe with you. I can be open. I can tell you about my day. I can tell you about my work. And I don't feel I have to be performative. You welcome all of me. Men are looking for the same thing we are looking for, which is this safe for me to be fully expressed?
Wow.
Mhm.
Such a gem right there. And to your point, I think that when we are fully healed and fully present, connections to the heart, which I know you talk a lot about, mind, body, and soul, then you can and will attract that energy.
Mhm.
And, personally for me, I've been on my healing journey for a while.
Yeah.
I'm in therapy, working on myself, physically, emotionally, spiritually, on the apps, putting
Mhm.
myself in environments to meet guys. But I'm kind of feeling like,
Mhm.
what else do I need to do? I mean, like the guys I connect with on the apps,
Mhm.
it's just they'll start the conversation, doesn't go anywhere, they ghost you. I go out to events all the time and I end up making great connections with other women. Like I'm going there,
Yeah.
I find three best friends, and I'm like, no,
Been
I'm supposed
there.
to be trying to talk to
Mhm.
guys. Like
Yeah.
what I don't know what else to
So,
do.
so before we even go there, and I have great advice for you and question for you. But before we go there, you don't have to be completely healed to enter a relationship and be loved well. I'll give you an example. I had a female client. She was divorced before, and she was so scared. Such a fantastic person, and she was 44 years old. And she said, Miwa, I don't want to be alone anymore. And it's so vulnerable for successful women to come to me and say, I love my life and I don't want to be alone any longer. It's so vulnerable. And I literally get it. I've been happily married for 15 years and I know what a beautiful relationship provides for us. So when she hired me and I told her, you need to let go of the control of knowing how things will unfold for you. You don't know, I don't know how you're going to meet this man, but I've seen it and experienced it myself enough that he's already there for you. You need to let go. And even if you are anxious, you can still be anxious and find the person. But you have to have a level of self identity again and regulation skills and understanding of your own patterns. Like, this is so important. Not only being mentally self aware, but emotionally knowing if anxiety shows up or avoidance shows up or I want to shut down. How do I carry myself through those experiences to come more to openness again? So she attracted an incredible guy, which, guess how it happened? She couldn't even predict it. She did the work with me, and they went to college together, to medical school together. And he saw her on Instagram. She posted something after so many years. He saw her on Instagram, reached out to her, and came to visit her. He lives in another city, and it unfolded so beautifully for them both. And she was still a little bit anxious. It's not like she was, oh, I'm never anxious anymore. No, she still had some anxiety. And as it went on and it got deeper and deeper, and he says to her, I want to propose to you. I really want you to propose. I want to propose. I want you to move with me, and I want to provide the best life for you. Her whole body went into like shock, and all her insecurities came out again, came out to play. And so they came to the session together, and I told them, this is going to be the most vulnerable experience for both of you. I said, face each other right now, hold hands. And I said to her, you're going to look at him and tell him all the insecurities that you just told me. And one by one, when she would mention, you know what, I really don't like cooking, I don't want to be cooking every time, he would look at her and say, I don't need you to cook. I can grill, we can order. You don't have to worry about any of this. And then she goes, well, I'm a little bit overweight. He looks at her and says, the more of you, the better for me. I love every pound of your body. Like, I love you. And then she keeps going with her. And every time she would mention something, he would meet her with love. Okay, how vulnerable that is. But then when she was done, I looked at him and I said, now, sir, is your turn. And he was kind of surprised. And I said, now you have to tell her if you have any insecurities about yourself. And he looks at her and says, I'm afraid I'm going to be bold and you will look at me differently. And then she starts nurturing him and loving him. And what I want you to all understand when I'm sharing this story is that you don't have to be perfect. You can still have some insecurities, but you have to be brave enough to acknowledge them to yourself and voice them to your partner. And most likely, when you are with a person who cares for you and is safe for you, they will heal those parts of you. They will help you to love those parts of you more. Okay, so that's number one. So that's about going and dating and thinking we have to be perfect. By the way, now they're engaged, she moved, and it's going amazing for both of them. When it comes to you asking me, Ludmila, I'm doing all the things, why is it not happening? My first question is, do you truly, within your spirit, your soul, your heart, do you know you are deserving of someone who is consistent, who is reliable, who is loyal, who is dependable, and who will always choose you and treat you well?
Yes.
Like deeply in your soul.
Yes.
Okay. Who do you have to be? I will ask the next question for all the audience. Who do you think you have to be for that person to enter your life?
Perfect.
Thank you.
I think I need to
Thank
be
you.
perfect.
Thank you. Thank you. To audience, answer that. I need to be perfect. Thank you. So I acknowledge your vulnerability. So why do you have to be perfect?
I always did. Look, I wouldn't be where I am today.
Correct.
There was
But
no room for error.
yeah, that's professionally, which phenomenal. Okay. If you were not perfect, what would the man that you date see? No, you do know, honey.
They
We
would
do
see
know.
my insecurities
Which is?
physically, physical insecurities, of course.
Yeah.
Emotionally, I know I'm still working on a few
Yeah.
things emotionally, and some character traits that I'm still working on, things like that.
Okay. What can you give us one character trait?
Sure, I was raised an only child, so sharing is something that I have to be cognizant of, like not being selfish is something
Yeah.
I'm working on.
Perfect. So look how many layers are under I'm trying to be perfect, right? There are physical things, emotional things, and some character traits you think maybe are not good enough. So next question for you and the audience. So imagine you go on a date and you are not perfect, and this man can see you physically. He can see some of your emotional things that you're still working through, and he sees, oh, sometimes she's selfish. What do you think will happen?
Realistically, I don't think he's gonna get up and leave the date. I think
Correct.
he'll take note of it, maybe, but if he's for me and invested in us, then I do think he would stay.
Correct, but that's mental. You say realistically, which is logical. On emotional level, what do you think? I want to be myself with a man on a date, but if I was, what will happen?
He won't like me as much.
Thank you. He won't like me as much. And if he doesn't like me as much, what would that mean about me, my future, my relationships?
That he might leave.
Thank you. which reminds me of my whole childhood when I was left over and over again and I couldn't depend on a man, right? So it is very important for me to keep striving to be perfect, never show a weakness, never show any insecurities, because I want to be loved well, right? Even if it means I'm not showing up as myself. Of course, you are not attracting someone, you are still trying to perform.
I'm just letting that sink in because that was very deep. That was very deep.
We go
Wow.
deep. We go
Yes.
always deep, Selena, because if you are doing all the things and you don't have your result that you desire, I know it's emotional, subconscious belief, but it's deeper than just mental belief. It's an emotional imprint left on your subconsciousness and your nervous system. So you can be doing all the things and still don't have the result because underneath is I have to be perfect or he will not like me and he will leave me, which reminds me of my whole childhood. So I have to keep being perfect. And again, when I'm perfect, am I in the energy of love and openness or restriction and fear?
Mhm.
The
That
second.
that is very good, Umidla. Thank you for that. I'm definitely going to take that and let it marinate. I do know our session, unfortunately, is coming to an end, but before we end, and again, thank you so much because this was very impactful for me, and I'm sure our audience. What's your message to the woman who has it all except for the relationship she desires?
My message is you deserve to have both. You deserve to have both. You can have both, and you can be happily married, happily loved, and still be the powerhouse you are in your business and your professional life. Nothing is of limits for you until you decide it's of limits. And I want you to understand that I know you are smart. I know you are brilliant. And sometimes I know you feel lonely and you don't know how to figure out this part of your life, but I am here to tell you that you can figure it out and that there is always a reason why you don't have what you want yet in your love life. And there is a way to still transform it and be loved well. And you don't have to be
Amazing.
perfect. And you don't, honey, you don't have to be perfect. Like I am a lot. My clients are a lot. Okay. And I own it instead of trying to, and this is what I say, just being in presence of someone who owns herself. I have flaws too, right? Like sometimes I'm very chaotic and sometimes I'm emotional. And my family knows, my boys know, my husband knows. And guess what? They love me because I accept myself. I accept myself with my best strengths and with things that I'm sometimes thinking, oh, this is interesting. This was an interesting behavior. But I will tell you that the worst thing that can happen to you is an emotion when it comes to dating, meaning if you are open to be with the discomfort of an emotion in your body, you can have the love that you want.
Okay. And I do love myself. I do want to say that. I definitely
Yeah,
love
but
myself.
look, I know that, and there is a part of you, it's not even about loving, it's about acceptance right now. There's a part of you that says I need to be perfect, which so much compassion. Can we bring compassion to it, right? Can we bring empathy to that? It's just noticing, yeah, there are some things that in my body or my emotions that I'm still, I wish maybe it was different. Can we bring compassion? We don't have to even change it, but can we bring compassion, curiosity, empathy to that? But we don't have to immediately go and protect ourselves. But I love myself. I love my. We know that. You see, we as women we do that like immediately protection. Like I do love myself. I do all the things. Yes, honey, we know that. Can you bring compassion to the parts of you that you are trying to hide? You literally like putting it in a closet, closing the door. And if you invite somebody into your house, please do not go to the door of this closet. Don't open it. The stuff will fall out, and you will see me, and you will see all of me. So another tip that I give to all of you, please work on seeing, accepting, and being compassionate with all of yourself, all the parts of you, the one that perform and achieve, and the parts of you that you think, what will people think if they see this part of me? Those parts, when you start accepting and loving them instead of judging and shaming and hiding, this is where energetically you start shifting, and people can feel it. People can feel it, and men can feel it.
Okay. With that said, Ludmila, how can people get in touch with you to inquire of your services? Anybody who wants to level up emotionally, gain emotional intelligence, and just build healthy relationships?
Yes, you can find me on LinkedIn, Ludmila Woodruff, on social media, Instagram, Facebook. You have I think we have our website, and I also have a podcast called Deeply Connected. And I am working on a book that can teach people how to have everything that you want in relationships and also in your professional life. So being loved well and also fulfilled. Mhm.
Amazing. I will look out for that book. Thank you so much again for not just the time today, but the work you're doing to pour into so many people who struggle in that area.
Yeah.
So I definitely appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.